welcome back to Different Style Whites.
Yes!
Greatest and only podcast about different style fights.
Yes, sir.
And what an exciting week we have again.
Oh my god.
Holy cow.
Wow.
Don Nakaya Nielsen.
What a
What a
guy.
man you are.
Oh my god.
Tell the people, who's the Don Dada?
The Don Dada himself. So yeah, we are back in episode 4, Don Nakaya Nielsen. I mean, really, there's not a ton to say about the guy. We'll start out by saying born in Los Angeles. I believe his maternal grandparents were both from Japan. But he had lived his entire life in the United States. He learned Tang Soo Do, which is a Korean martial art based on karate. And he learned this at a dojo that was owned by Chuck Norris.
Holy shit.
So he was already starting out. He's got some names attached. I believe he also was learning some boxing. He does amateur boxing. He supposedly wins a Golden Gloves title in amateur boxing, which then propels him to move to professional kickboxing. As a kickboxer, he is pretty successful. He had a 36 professional kickboxing fights. 28 of those were wins. 21 of those were knockouts.
That's crazy because I watched a bunch of his fights and I feel like I only saw him lose.
Yeah, no, it's weird.
That's really crazy.
He was kind of one of those guys, from my understanding, he gets to like the highest echelon and he's just not at that level per se. He was not he was never a champion, but he was a guy that would get to fight champions. He'd get to that point and that'd be kind of his cutoff. But
probably
everywhere else,
the most exciting and awesome type of guy, because the cap on him is that he just does not. He has a massive hole in his game, and it is defense.
Yes, he is an amazing kickboxer simply because he has seemingly never learned how to back down. There are some pretty astounding fights on YouTube. A lot of them uploaded by that mouse boxer guy. Shout out him. But just anytime he's fighting someone and he wins, he is like winning in the most horrific way possible.
Yeah, and he's a little dirty too, which I think translates really well and plays out a little bit in at least 2 of these, probably all 3 of these matches. But he brings that with him. Like I also watched a lot of his fights that he lost, where he lost. It seems like because he pissed off the other guy.
Yeah, he kind of pushes them to unleash the beast in a way, and he's the victim.
And I don't know, like, we still do kickboxing, right? What's the kickboxing thing? Is K1 still around, right?
Yes, K1 is still around. Kickboxing is still pretty popular.
It seems so quaint, like me from 2026. Like, this guy's a kickboxer. I don't know. It takes me back to my youth. Maybe it's the VHS tapes, of which he was in a couple.
I mean, he's around in like he's kind of around in the peak of like the American kickboxing craze of like the early to mid 80s, when like MMA still wasn't really a thing, and kickboxing was kind of the closest thing to a universal martial art because it was boxing but you could kick in it. Muay Thai hadn't made the jump stateside yet, so I feel like the craze after the karate stuff was going towards kickboxing. Like, this is the real fighting sport, at least from what I've read. And
one of the fights I watched was ESPN.
What? Yes, dude. Oh god.
Somebody was. Well, I might have been 2 a.m. or something, but
yeah. But he is a he again. Nakaya Nielsen never successful enough that he won any titles, as far as I'm aware. Well, no, he won a few actually.
Cruiserweight title is what I saw.
He won an IWA cruiserweight title. He won a few titles for the WKA, which I do not. Which That might be the same one that ran those shows. I'm still not 100% sure. I think it is actually. Yeah. So
And so that's
uh
like what another thing that is super interesting about this guy as well. I'm going to let you go tell more about him because there's other cool stuff going
yeah.
on with Don Nakaya Nielsen, but he's like this scene is like really starting to come together, and this I think is our most like MMA-ish set of matches. But like
Yes.
the all this the fighting other than boxing is like in this just a weird place with all these different organizations and rule sets, and he's like he and the guys of his and him in particular. That's what we're talking about him. I feel like he's really like a trailblazer in a lot of ways
Yes. No,
as
I
far as like
agree.
early MMA stuff.
Yeah, you kind of look at the
That's
way
not
he
a hot take, but
No, no, I think one of the most interesting things about Nielsen is that if you look at what he was doing in the world of wrestling, and the way he would fight wrestlers, there's a direct line you can draw between Nielsen's work in Japan in wrestling organizations and the development and boom of mixed martial arts, not only in Japan, but around the world, because of course the stuff that happened in Japan had a major influence on the United States, which
yeah.
of course then had a major influence on everywhere else.
And here's a guy who is both American and Japanese,
Yes.
which
Uh,
means he's got a foot in both worlds. I mean, a lot of guys did, but and it helps. He has a huge personality, and
yes.
he looks like a main character of an anime, like the Americanized Japanese
Yeah.
handsome guy,
Yeah.
which probably helps in Japan.
Oh yeah, no, and like I mean, he's I don't fully remember. I never got a full read on when he starts calling himself Don Nakaya Nielsen, but I believe it is when he goes to Japan. Because one of the things I read was kind of that Don Nakaya Nielsen was a he was very much a big deal in Japan, and they kind of knew he would be because he was a kickboxer who was willing to travel to Japan regularly. And then he brought in the Nakaya name to kind of further tie himself in. It's like, hey, I'm also Japanese. Um, so there was some level of trying to build up his image in the country, which worked spectacularly. I don't think it would have worked as well if he was just doing that stuff, but I think the fact that he does that along with being Don Nakaya Nielsen,
Yeah,
like, how could you not like think this guy is the coolest dude ever when he has these fucking matches?
yeah, and his whole so good. Yeah, as we said, he's kind of outclassed by the top tier guys, but I think that's good. I think it makes him a little more willing to branch out into this type of stuff. And his style of fighting, which is like already well established. It's not like, we've the martial artists that we've talked about were good martial artists, but we talked about Oyagi and the manga and all that, but like I don't think they were on the level of Star, right? Inoki's bringing in legitimate fighters, maybe Willie Williams,
Yes. I
but
mean, Will Williams is huge. Will Murska is pretty huge. Um, I think with the guys that were coming in, Willie Williams was a huge deal in Japan, and Ruska was a big deal for the Olympic stuff. I think Don Nakaya feels like one of the first guys to. I don't know. It's like he comes in and there's a level of importance attached to him that almost feels lost later on. Like, it becomes more about the fact that they are a different style guy rather than this is a guy who is not only from outside of the sphere but is a big deal. And they
yeah.
certainly try to make Nakaya feel like this monster from another world.
And I think successfully. You want to just get right into it here?
You
It's
know what?
Maeda.
Sure.
Yeah.
I think honestly, before we do that though, I do just want to mention there's one piece of lore that I've already mentioned to Aubie, but it
Oh
is
yes.
fascinating to me. And that is that Don Nakai Nielsen had an open invite to join All Japan Pro Wrestling before his first ever match in Japan. Uh, so he was living in LA and was training and doing kickboxing there. Most likely at the Jet Center, which is a Benny the Jet. Oh god, I don't even know how to pronounce his last name. I'm not even going to try. Benny the Jet. If you know him, you know he is like one of the probably the maybe the best kickboxer ever, if you don't count Muay Thai guys, which feels like a massive caveat and really shouldn't even be considered. But if you were only going to consider like American kickboxing, he is probably one of the best, if not the best American kickboxer, at least in terms of being fucking cool, like him or Dennis Alexio. Um, he was affiliated with that, was fighting in Los Angeles, and in 1984, a man from Japan comes down to the States and also Mexico to do his excursion for All Japan Pro Wrestling and to train. And he actually starts training at the gym that Don Nakaya Nielsen trains at because he needs to learn kickboxing. This man is named Mitsuharu Misawa, and he is learning kickboxing so he can prepare to be the new Tiger Mask. And he is at this boxing gym with Nielsen, and they are sparring partners a lot of the time. And Giant Baba comes down one time just to check on Tiger Mask, see how Masao's doing, how he's getting with the kickboxing stuff, how he's going to do when he starts using the character. And I don't know what exactly happened in the sparring for Baba to say this, but he apparently tells Nielsen after they do this sparring that, hey man, if you ever want to be like a pro wrestler, like just contact me. We will bring you into All Japan and we will train you. And it is, I mean, talk about such a weird fucking like situation, like a bizarre thing to think about, especially when you consider what if Don Nakai Nielsen took him up on that offer? Like, what would that even look like?
I'm they probably would have just trained him to be a wrestler, but
Yeah.
it's another one of those weird butterfly effect things. I that's so cool, man. I'm like, yeah, I already knew that story. Not only have you told me the story earlier this week, you reminded me of it before we started because I had already
Yes.
forgotten. And you're telling it again now, like 5 minutes later, and I'm like leaning forward in my chair, like, oh man.
And like it's such a crazy story that the first time I read it, I was like, "Oh, that's fucking fan fiction. That's not real." And then I saw that there's a photo from the training session, so like it's totally real.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I really don't know what he would have looked like. Maybe he would have just been 1980s Taiyokea now that I think about it, but like fuck dude, that would have been awesome.
Yeah.
So, you know what?
He had it in him.
Yes.
Because these are three, I think, really different in interesting ways kind of fights and matches. Um, I think he has three great ones, and I think they're all different. And
Yeah.
that's
No.
crazy to me.
Yeah, no, that's kind of because I mean, I love Aoyagi, and I think we talked a lot about in those Aoyagi matches how they were different. They talked, kind of appealing to the three sides of Atsushi Onita. But you look at Aoyagi in those three matches, and outside of the evolution from the first to the second, he is still like delivering very similar performances.
Yeah.
They're incredible. I love them, but they are very similar. These three Nakaya performances are distinct almost. They feel very like they're doing different things for Nakaya to the point that he feels like a very fully formed like entity in wrestling by the end of the third one.
Yeah, it's crazy to watch. I'm shocked he didn't do more. I know he did like a real kickboxing match in New Japan.
Yes.
And of course he did the PWFG stuff that I think he's probably most well known for in the actual MMA world.
Yeah, no, the
The
whole fight with Wayne Shamrock,
yeah.
it kind of creates this uh desire almost to put MMA on the larger, like to actually create an MMA company in Japan. Because I think you can point to that match and say, hey, this is probably why they got Pancrase off the
Yeah.
ground.
Which is also crazy. So really a kind of a monumental figure that is a name that I knew and I had seen one of these and loved it, but I don't think I really understood like everything that was going on with Don Nakaya Nielsen here and how he's kind of like in the middle of all this stuff.
No, I think it only took us doing this episode for me to look at all of his impact within wrestling and beyond it. That kind of made me realize, hey man, this is a really important name that just never comes up in any of these discussions.
And not necessarily germane to this, but the other information that you see everywhere out there about him is that he was also a pioneering chiropractor
Yes.
in Thailand.
Yeah. Yeah, which actually is very interesting because he actually switches to Muay Thai from kickboxing at some point, I believe, in the late '80s.
It's probably after that Muay Thai guy kicked his ass.
Fuck, probably.
Rob Common.
Yeah. But he switches to Muay Thai. He does that for a few years before he retires, and I I wonder if maybe that was kind of the influence because I know he moved to yeah, okay, no, I'm an idiot. It actually says it literally on his Wikipedia that he learned Muay Thai, moved to Thailand to, actually join like a Muay Thai gym in the country. And apparently he was just helping other kickboxers out with like muscle shit, stretches and whatever. And it was kind of when he discovered they're like, oh, uh, chiropractic stuff just does not exist here, which especially for like the fighters seems kind of weird because that was I mean, even at that time that was really big. So
Well,
that was
between
whenever,
rounds in these fights, his corner man is like lifting him up,
yeah,
almost
yeah,
like you do to pop somebody's back.
yeah. But yeah, that leads to him opening his own clinic in Thailand, and I believe he just lived there for the rest of his life.
Yeah, and it said on Wikipedia that he's the reason it's legal there because he got in some legal trouble for like practicing medicine that wasn't allowed to be practiced. So
Yes, yeah, apparently in 2007 they get him and it's not legal or insured, and it was kind of like he got arrested for it, and that it was unlicensed medical practices, but they stuck to it, and eventually in 2007 the Thai Medical Council put out the Chiropractic Act, which made chiropractors a officially recognized profession within the medical world in Thailand.
so he's moving the needle all over the place, man. Maybe
He's
somewhere there's two different style white boys doing a podcast about different style uh, chiropractic, as it seems that they call it, and talking
God,
about Don
dude.
Nakaya Nielsen.
That'd be so awesome. I gotta look around and see if there's any chiropractic podcasts where the name Don Nakaya Nielsen has come up. Like the only two places in the world you'll hear his name on a podcast here and like 101 on chiropractic.
Exactly. And he makes his debut as a professional wrestler, sort of a different style fighter, in the Sumo Hall
Yes.
on 10/9/86 against Akira Maeda. This is when I said we would get to talk about some freaks this week. This is who I was specifically thinking of.
Yeah. And this is a really interesting week too, because every single person we're talking about here we have not talked about before. Uh, One of them we're probably I don't know if we're ever gonna see again because I don't even know if he did any more different style stuff unless you count the Pancrase fight.
Yeah.
But the other two, they are going to. This is not the only time they're going to be here. These are two pretty important
Yes.
names for different style, both in terms of the development of it and its peaks.
Yeah. And
But
the main event of this show was Inoki Spinks.
oh my god, I did not even know. Oh my god.
Yeah. So it's interesting because, like, I think we talked about this. I knew Don Nakaya Nielsen from this. And in my
Yes.
mind, maybe, I don't know, somewhere I picked up that this is like sort of the thing that like really blasts Maeda into the stratosphere as like a big time player. I mean, he had already done the Andre thing, but that was nothing. And he's already back. He's doing some stuff, but
Yeah.
like like people credit this fight for it did in the Observer, it says it did a 28.9 primetime rating.
Yes.
So was it just this that aired? I'm like, how do you separate that from Inoki Spinks?
Um. Honestly, with the way they were doing the time slots at the time, I would not be shocked because this is early mid 80s New Japan. Like we have criminally we have none of the mid card stuff because the
Yeah.
only stuff that was broadcast was like semi main event and main event. And if it's an Inoki match, it's the whole time slot. Uh, but this match is such a like fucking batshit insane thing, and it is so impactful that I would say it would not shock me if this got a full time slot broadcast, and then like the week after, I'm assuming they did the Inoki versus Spinks match in the first broadcast, and then like a week after the show, and after the first broadcast with Inoki Spinks,
Yeah.
they then did a whole time slot of Maeda Nielsen.
Yeah. That would make sense. And it stinks for us that we don't have those mid card matches, but it's good for going back and watching this stuff because it's like the Samurai TV. Is it, what are they on? Asahi?
Asahi, yeah.
Yeah. Um, it's like so perfectly presented.
Yeah.
This is like the greatest presentation of wrestling ever. This is what it should look like. And like stylistically and match wise, it might be too, which is another reason it's a bummer we don't have all the mid card stuff. But like
Yeah.
just aesthetically, like man, this looks incredible. It's quite a change from the FMW we've been doing.
Yeah, no, the FMW, I love FMW's presentation. I think we were both very open about how much we enjoy the way they put together the tapes with the the graphics and just the general ambiance. It's wonderful, but I think that there are different ways to talk about different wrestling in terms of how they look. I think for the small, like gritty presentation, FMW is pretty damn
Oh
close to
yeah, I
as
mean
good as
it's
you can get.
incredible. But I'm
But
thinking, I'm also thinking when I
yeah,
think of FMW, like as great as that aesthetic is, and as much as I love it, I also am thinking of like the grimy ass handhelds and stuff.
yes, yes. But if we're talking about big arena presentation, I think that you know, I don't think there's anything better than like
It's
80s New Japan. I think
it's
it there
this and Nitro.
yeah, Nitro. I mentioned to you, I love the Mid South Coliseum stuff
Yeah.
from Memphis. I think, and it's similar to the New Japan where the arenas are so big, and the way they're shot just means that you have seas of people behind you, and it feels like a major sporting event. And New
Yes.
Japan, especially, feels like something like it's like the fucking it's like the fight at the end of Real Steel, famous movie with Hugh Jackman, when
Dude, I
the
have a friend
whole
named Chandler who since college, I am 40 years old, okay?
yeah.
Since we were in college, has texted me every time Real Steel is on FX. He still does it.
that's
I'll get a
that's
text that says Real Steel is on FX.
that's so awesome. Yeah, Real Steel important in my life. I love that movie.
Yeah.
And it is like, but just the big shot of like the final fight with like the sea of people in that massive arena. That's what like every New Japan Ryogoku show from the 80s looks like to me.
Yeah, and
It's perfect.
it's easy to make fun of Inoki as we to have a little bit gently, right? But like
Yes.
for his seriousness and how but like this is what he's going for and he's achieving it spectacularly. Like it's working.
Yeah,
The
it's
King of
working
Sports
perfectly.
is working and humming, and this is a great time in New Japan because the UWF guys have all come back. I wouldn't say with their tails between their legs because none of them roll that way, but they
No,
have
I
injected something really magical into the alchemy of New Japan coming back from the UWF. And we talked about this too. Like everybody loves the UWFI invasion stuff.
mhm.
The original UWF return is like just nothing but the best shit ever.
Yeah. And I mean it's really interesting too looking at the way it all goes down cuz I a while back like months ago I was very much getting into the Ricky Choshu invasion of all Japan and
Yeah,
with the
everything I
force of
just said
bear.
about New Japan goes for that too.
Yes. But it's really interesting because the UWF exodus happens in like 92, 93, and then like right after that, I believe. No, 94. So right before that, is the Riki Choshu and his like group Exodus. So here in 96, we are looking at New Japan, who has kind of been going through it for about a year or so because they lost like a solid chunk of their roster and a solid chunk of their like main event stars, like future main event guys, just left the company. And now some of them are back, and it's like a jolt of life for a company that, while still doing really good shit, was like kind of in a really shitty spot.
Yeah, it's important and it's fucking awesome, but don't
Yeah.
sleep on this shit either.
No. But we are here. Ryogoku, Akira Maeda, Don Nakaya Nielsen. Uh, Before the fight even starts, they get into the wildest stare down where Nielsen is looking at him like fucking Ivan Drago, like glazed over eyes.
He has crazy charisma and crazy facial expressions like at all times. And yeah, he's great. And they give Maeda flowers that he throws, and they immediately just hand him more flowers, which is really funny.
Yeah.
And then they give Nielsen flowers, and he does a thing he's gonna do again later, where he like throws them in the air and round kicks them, and they explode. And the
So
crowd goes,
awesome.
"Oh,
So sick. If I was in the crowd, let me tell you, I would also be going, oh.
oh, no doubt." And Maeda, of course, is maybe second only to Inoki as like the most serious man of all time.
Oh, dude, he's perpetually locked in.
And he's so locked in. Maeda is a guy. I think we've maybe touched on this before in conversation, but he's a guy to me who is like sometimes the most awesome guy ever, and usually it's in the context of New Japan and in a pro wrestling context that I like him the best.
Yeah.
And sometimes he's like the most boring guy ever, and I think he's like an all-time loves the smell of his own farts guy. But
Oh, 100%.
he is insanely locked in here, and it's crazy because like the different style fights we've talked about that Inoki did, he's like protecting the honor of professional wrestling. Maeda's not really doing that. He
No,
doesn't.
my
He doesn't give a
my
fuck about pro wrestling. He hates pro wrestling.
dude, he actually he in about 2 years he will show you how much he hates wrestling, brother. Don't you worry. Like
Yeah.
he's about to be done with this shit.
And another
But
super
he
interesting guy that had some MMA success. Some of it worked, but
yeah.
like who was just too early. Like I think he would have been a very elite MMA guy had it existed before he helped birth it
Yeah,
as a
I've had
younger
that
man.
I've had that talk with a few people because I think we were the root of the discussion was if Maeda and Sayama got into a shoot fight, or if they were both like in their prime doing an MMA fight, who would win? Because we kind of never got the actual shoot fight between them,
Yeah.
even though it got very, very close at different points. Um, and I think the general consensus was that yeah, Maeda, just looking at his credentials and what we do have, um, he probably would have beat Sayama, and he probably would just be a general all around like good MMA fighter. Um, and it is really interesting that you bring him up as like because I do agree with you about the boring thing. I will say I do love the second UWF stuff because I think that's when it's still close enough to wrestling that he could make it work. Um, I've always thought of him as he almost feels like he should be in the different style fight realm, like perpetually, because he is wonderful as a like fighter going against wrestlers. Like you see the Fujinami match and like the other shit, like the 5v5s that they were doing. Like him coming in and doing a kind of work that nobody else was doing because all the wrestlers from New Japan are just trying to handle him. Like that feels like great. That's the perfect kind of role for him.
Yeah.
Which makes this match so fascinating because he is de facto the pro wrestler, but he is still Maeda. He's tapping into that primordial MMA that he's kind of starting to get developing,
And
and
he
he's
was a
using
karate
that.
guy too, right? Like he was trained in karate. That
I think so.
I think that he was like that's what he was before he went to New Japan. Maybe I'm getting him
Yeah.
confused with somebody else, but I feel like I read that he was like maybe I heard Fumi Saito say it. that he was like one of the reasons he went to New Japan was because he was told they would help him like open a karate school or something?
Oh, you know what? That actually might be it. Yeah, no, because I'm looking right now because he was a karate guy, and
He shows it here. Like if you're, I didn't have that in mind watching this, and I'm thinking of him as a wrestler. He throws some. He starts trading kicks later on that are pretty gnarly.
yeah, and okay, no, so not only was he a karate guy, his dream before wrestling, I guess going into wrestling, his dream was to open a karate dojo in the United States of America.
That's what it
Uh,
was.
and he wanted to do something. I think so when he went to join New Japan, um no, so he was doing like karate stuff. And fucking who does he meet? Satoru Sayama is who he meets when training in karate. And Sayama
Fate,
goes to Hisashi Shinma's like, hey, this guy's pretty good. You should see if we should get him to be a wrestler. And apparently Maeda told Shinma, I don't really care about wrestling, but like, do you guys have like a boxing thing? And Shinma, fucking genius that he is, goes, we have some affiliation to Muhammad Ali's gym. And that works. That gets him. So here we have Akira Maeda.
he tried to tell them from the get go.
Yeah.
They should have listened to him.
They have him here defending New Japan when in reality he's a guy who got scammed into becoming a wrestler
And hates it.
It
He hates
it.
this fake carny shit.
In 2 years, he's going to try even harder to not be a wrestler. And then 2 years after that, he's going to start a whole company where the idea is that this is not pro wrestling anymore.
They should make like Queen of Villains style prestige drama about the anti-hero
God,
Akira Maeda.
that would
Another
be
another
wow.
endlessly fascinating guy
Yeah,
we have talked about here.
for real, dude.
He's in all the crazies. So yeah, we got to jump into this match.
Yeah.
It's so fascinating. But if I think this is, I don't think I know. This is the most well-known of the Don Nakaya Nielsen matches. Did a huge rating, as we said. Both of these
Massive.
guys come out of it big stars. Last week we talked about fun matches. We're back to heat now. There's heat here. This crowd
Oh,
is fired up.
molten. Like a
Yeah,
volcano erupting, dude. The whole match.
Maeda has. I got Fujiwara's with him in the most comfortable-looking sweatpants of all time. Takada's with him, and
Awesome.
Frank Gotch is here.
Fucking, not even Frank. Big Carl.
Oh,
Big
sorry,
fucking
Frank
Carl.
Gotch. Oh my god, that would be something. That would
That
really
would
be
be,
something.
he's back.
And they wheel him out.
They wheel out the bones of Frank Gotch. Oh, and who's that with them? It's Simon Gotch.
Oh man,
But
I
no,
would.
they got.
Inoki would do that shit if he could.
Oh, dude, God, I'm shocked that they never brought
Can we
Simon
get?
Gotch in like once.
Oh,
Oh, you're talking about Frank Gotch. My
yeah,
bad.
yeah. Can we get his? Can we get his bones in here?
Can we get the bones of Frank Gotch in here, please? Um,
But oh man, and like the build up again, the aesthetic is perfect. The presentation is perfect, not just like the television presentation, but everything about it. Like I cannot foresee not being giddy before every different style fight that we watch because I just love these so much. But I was like giddy before this started. I'm like,
mhm.
let's go. And we talked at the beginning about how Nielsen is had a boxing game. I think he's the first guy we've talked about who had a boxing game.
Yes.
Brings an element, but he's got the gloves. They've got the mouth guards. This one just kind of, like I said, feels a little more like an actual fight. Maybe I'm just like the hugest mark of all time, but
Okay, so I write down at 3 different points during this match. I'm like, okay, this is awesome. This is amazing. And there are moments in the match where I see them do something like, okay, this looks worked enough. The finish feels worked. This feels worked. But sometimes Nielsen throws a kick, and I cannot help but wonder, is this actually a shoot?
Dude, I same experience. I had to write "you're a mark" like multiple times.
Like fuck, like
Which is
I'm.
what it's all about, baby. This is the
Yeah,
dragon I'm chasing. This is why we're here.
yeah. Fucking, I kept watching. I'm like, I've seen live rounds before. These are like grenades, dude. They're fucking trying to kill each other.
Yeah. And it I think that just the Inoki stuff is different. We've done 2 weeks on FMW. That stuff feels more pro wrestling in some ways than this, but like the way that they structure this through the rounds, I think it like we are marks because this is like a perfectly structured. It feels like an MMA match that you've seen before, where one guy comes out hot and is getting a little too aggressive and like gets himself gassed, and it just builds to this like perfect crescendo. And they
Yeah.
started in the first round. Nielsen looks better. He's throwing punches. He's landing some good punches, and I love it every time because the announcers go punchy,
Yeah.
and those are flummoxing Maeda like a little more than the kicks. And Maeda looks a little humbled.
Yeah. No, Maeda is getting, because the thing with Nielsen too is that he is so good at landing a shot every time he goes for something. Like he'll go for kicks and he will miss them because they're a little bit too wide. But he loves to do this fucking thing, which was the main reason why I thought it was a shoot, where he throws a kick and like halfway through quickly snaps it down to throw a jab. And every time he does it, every time he does that little feint motion, he catches Maeda directly in the nose. And
Right in the nose.
it looks and sounds as real as possible.
And
So like
even if it is a work, like yeah, he was not getting his hands up for that. Like even if they had like
no.
I'm gonna do this thing, like it's so fast every time.
Yeah. But he fucking whoops Maeda for like the whole round. And Maeda does get a few moments in that first round, usually through the takedowns. There's this one moment where he gets a takedown and actually throws like a punt kick at Nielsen's ribs. And you can see on Nielsen's face, he's like Windows 95 buffering, like trying to figure out what, like, hey, you're not supposed to do that, brother. You're not, that was a little dicey.
Yeah.
But
That's a taste of his own medicine, though, from watching his
yeah,
face.
yeah, because we'll see it later, especially when we get to the last match.
Oh my
But
god!
Nielsen eventually really shakes off this fear of ground and pound, and maybe becomes the first real MMA guy by doing ground and pound.
Yeah. There's Maeda does one cool thing in the first round. It's like it's almost like if you were gonna do a shoot dragon screw because he like twists one leg but he sweeps the other leg.
Yes.
That I thought was really cool, and I loved like when we're between rounds here, the like hype talk from Nielsen's corner man, which
Oh,
I'm
dude,
assuming that of course they knew that like it was no one would understand what they're saying because he's talking to him like it's a work. He's like, we got to make it look good for the people,
oh,
and he
dude,
says at one point I thought this was so cool. I rewound it like 4 times to make sure I was hearing it right. He says, "You're the door opener. We
yes,
got to make it look
yes.
good." That was
Okay,
so cool, dude.
that was awesome. And that also plays in the fact that Nielsen was kind of one of the first, and he wasn't the first, but he was one of the first really notable kickboxing guys who was so open to just going
Yeah.
international. Um, but I actually wrote down the in between round one and round two hype man talk because it is one of the funniest fucking things I've ever
Yeah,
heard.
dude, it's great
So
every
like
time.
the camera like pulls in and the camera has like perfect audio to hear what he's saying. He's like, "Yeah, we got to club him. We got to get him good. Okay, and win. We didn't come to lose, all right. All right, well, you got to go out there and take it from a man. We're in his
You were in
backyard."
his backyard.
Like it sounds like fucking what's the name of the dude from Mike Tyson's Punch Out? It sounds like
Oh
hype
my
advice
god,
that he
yeah.
would give. Fuck, it's so
It's
almost
Street
like
Fighter style.
yeah.
Yeah, and I was so transfixed by his corner. I did peek over at the end of the first round because they had a split screen, and it looked
Mhm.
like Fujiwara and Takada were like a pit crew. They were just like buffing Maeda with
They
towers,
were the
like as fast
entire
as you
time.
possibly could.
They're like trying to switch the tires out on Maeda because he's gonna break down if they don't.
Oh man! And then we get to round two, and it starts with two really risky and cool kicks that miss.
Okay, and I just wanted to mention this because I had a moment of like epiphany. The second round starts, and Nielsen immediately goes for a jumping, spinning heel kick. And I
Yeah.
saw it, and I was like, oh my god, that's where Supercrafter gets it from. Because Supercrafter
Oh,
you starts every single match by doing a jumping, spinning heel kick, and he has the baggy pants that go up to his belly button. Like, it never clicked, but he is just a Don Nakaya Nielsen mark. That, like, explains everything.
see, this guy's huge, and we had no idea.
We didn't.
And this is where he does the first Nielsen does the first like stomp to a downed Maeda, which is
Oh,
something that he did in the I watched a fight with him against this guy named Brad Hefton, who was like the beast mode guy of all time. And that's what happened. He did that to him, and it pissed him off so bad that he just got like murdered. But that was the thing he would. That was like not a pro wrestling thing. He was stomping people on the ground.
oh yeah,
in
no, and that's
kickboxing.
actually that's a great point too because Brad Hefton, I actually remember that name just because he was like a pretty big deal PKA heavyweight champion. So
Yeah,
that's
I think
another
he
one
was
for
like the
the
continental.
Nielsen getting so close to beating a champion and just somehow doing the exact right thing to make them want to kill him.
Dude, there's a not to get off topic too bad, but who cares? But there's a shot in that match of the corner, and of course it's shoot, and his guys are talking to him, and he is just like staring into the middle distance, like doing breathing exercises. He is so fucking mad, like as mad as I have ever seen a human.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, if I'm in a kickboxing fight and they still haven't figured out whether or not ground and pound should be a thing that exists, and then Don Nielsen stomps my head, like, yeah, dude, we're not done after the fight ends. We're beating in the fucking back alley. But yeah, I mean,
It's also
just
more
round
annoying
two.
because of Don Nakaya Nielsen's style, which we've talked about, which he shows in this fight, is just all
Yes.
moving forward and like constantly throwing kicks and punches, like no interest in moving backwards at all.
Yeah, I have noted down about in the round two. There's another one of those. It's like right after the head stop, he does another one of the faint punches, and you can see on Maeda's nose. I'm fairly certain it's bleeding, and I write down this might be a shoot, like it, and that's around the time that Maeda, kind of disproving me while also maybe proving what I'm saying, tries to tackle Nielsen out of the ring.
Yeah,
Like it wasn't there was no it wasn't like he pushed him to the ropes. He was very explicitly trying to push him through the top and middle rope.
yeah. But otherwise, he's mostly trying to play defense and like grab a kick and take him down. And it's funny because Nielsen has less than zero interest in that. Like as soon as
No.
he goes down, he is looking for the nearest rope and booking it over.
Once again, Don Nakai Nielsen helping to invent Pancrase by inventing the concept of immediately going for a rope break and a submission, which kills half of the Pancrase's roster.
That's so
Like
insane that they even had that in the rule set,
it's
man.
so it's so good. Like you get Boss Rootin in there. The second the guy like tries to slap a heel hook on him, he just grabs the ropes. He's like, "Fuck that, dude."
Yeah, why not?
Why not?
That's what it's there for. But Nielsen he's so good. He's so naturalistic. Still kind of working the again, I'm a mark, so I'm like writing down here what he should be doing. Like he's the punches and stuff are working, but the kicks are starting to not work as well.
Yeah, no, it's a slow thing, and we kind of get into going into round three especially, you start to feel it. Round three starts with Nielsen. This just got a big laugh out of me. it starts with Nielsen seeming to learn how to use the B button because he immediately hits like 2 perfect vertical jumps into the air for no reason. It's like fucking playing Mario and you're trying to learn the controls. But yeah, no, he tries to go into like the fighting and shit, and almost immediately in round 3, like Maeda is starting to make moves because he's realizing that Don Nakaya Nielsen is not built to fight for this long in this
No.
kind of environment. So he is getting like more and more double legs, and he's starting to move through them. And that is whenever we get into the armbar struggle of round 3, which I have a lot of moments I love from the stuff we've talked about so far. The bloody headbutts from Aoyagi Onita 1, the chair shot on the outside from that same match, the fucking shirt off moment from Lee Gaksu, Willie Williams and Inoki going to the outside. There's been a lot of really great moments in like all this different style stuff. The armbar struggle in the Nielsen and Maeda match in round 3 might be the coolest thing that I have ever seen. It is
It's
it is
awesome.
incredible, and the crowd has gone from cheering to a noise. It is a pure noise of excitement.
You think Nielsen was thinking I should not have worn the gloves?
Dude, fuck man, I bet he's like, I should have just punched this guy, man.
And it ends with him like almost literally on the back foot, like down on the mat, kicking Maeda off of him and lunging for the ropes.
It's it's so good. It's so good.
It's incredible. And then we go to round 4 and Maeda and now he's starting to show the kicks where he's like blocking kicks with kicks and he's throwing some real snappers and Nielsen looks gassed and Maeda just looks lathered up. And you're like, "Oh
Yeah.
shit."
Yeah, that's like the moment of like, oh my god, the momentum swings, brother. Fucking, there's an amazing Maeda leg kick that he catches on Nielsen, and
And
you
they're
can
doing the
see
job.
Nielsen. Yeah, Nielsen actually steps back, and the second he like takes a back step, which again, Nielsen's whole thing is attack, 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 attack. So when he takes a like a full step backwards, the crowd pops huge because they immediately realize like, oh shit, he is hurt.
Yeah.
Uh, and of course, he responds by punching Maeda in the face and immediately grabbing the ropes when Maeda gets a hold. Because, like, you one leg kick is not enough to stop Don Nakaya Nielsen from his old tricks.
But like this is what I'm talking about how it builds so perfectly. It's like it's a pro wrestling match, you know, but
Yeah.
but better.
Yeah.
And he at the end of that round Maeda gets the Fujiwara on him and Fujiwara's in the
Okay.
corner just grinning like a pervert.
I was going to talk about that. That is one of my. You go from the armbar struggle for the last one. The
Yeah.
whole Fujiwara thing, 'cause it was so interesting because it's like, Fujiwara himself put out a bunch of VHS tapes in like the late 80s and early 90s that were like grappling demonstrations. Like, here's how to do this, here's how to do that.
I
It
need those.
almost felt like, dude, they're so awesome. There are a bunch of them on YouTube. They're so cool. But like, it almost felt like one of those because Maeda gets him in a double leg, and you can see the machinations as Maeda is slowly moving from having like his leg caught to spinning around to putting him in like a side, like weird, like key lock kind of position, and then pulling the arm around into a perfect Fujiwara armbar, like in the middle of the ring, no escape. And then the bell rings and the crowd goes fucking nuts because Maeda has just won, except he hasn't
Yep.
because the round's over.
It's so, and he's cooked in round 5. He's cooked.
You
Round 4's
do.
totally turned it.
You.
But he has his now his cornerman is being supportive, and he says, "You're
Yes.
doing a great job. People are gonna love you."
The people are going to love you on. It's so good.
And he shoots out of the corner with a very desperation spin kick.
Dude, like just full body just flies across the corner, and he doesn't really connect with it, but it looks like it's if it would have hit, big momentum shifter, but it was the most blatant. It was the Inoki capo kick. Just
Yeah.
throw your body and hope it hits.
We get more struggle on an arm bar. Now he's trying to do some head scissors. So he's at least trying because he's too gassed to get to the ropes, I guess.
That's kind of the funniest thing too. Imagining like it took Don Nakaya Nielsen 5 rounds to remember that he can also grapple if he gets in a position to do it. But
He's not wired that way.
no,
He's a
he's not.
Final Fight character.
It's not in his moveset. But
And then Maeda hits this crazy like low angle arm trap belly to belly like shoot
dude,
suplex.
dude, fucking double arm trap, like perfect float over, and it looks like it is a perfect position to win. Once again, Nielsen gets the ropes, but at this point, it kind of becomes apparent like all that it's going to take is Maeda getting him in a hold where he's in the middle of the ring.
Yeah.
That's all that matters. If he can get one hold in the middle of the ring, it's over. And that's pretty much what happens. He gets in an ankle lock.
He has the knockout artist thing where he's still like, I just need one. He throws a couple of big punches and he's trying to base kick him out of the leg lock like as hard as he can.
Dude, he is kicking Maeda directly in the face as hard as he can. Like I cannot imagine taking that for the business. I'm sorry, dude. I'm not that kind of guy.
Well, he better. Maeda better take that shit.
I'm shocked Maeda would take that shit. Knowing Maeda, I can't believe he took that shit.
I'd do that to you.
Yeah. But ankle lock, kicks in the face, and then Maeda switches it over. Perfect single leg crab, full extension. Nielsen is like in pure, like disgusting levels of pain, and it's over. It is over. For Shutsuki this time, Akira Maeda taps out Don Nakaya Nielsen and wins the match.
And it's incredible, and this is a perfect different style fight.
Yeah.
And I want to talk more about this at the end, but we're like limitations are good, and we're starting to see some of the different ways these things can play out. And this is a Tokon different style fight. This is a New Japan different style fight. And
incredibly so.
It's maybe the best one. I don't know though. Like we're gonna give it a run for its money directly, but
yeah, no,
as
it's
a pure match. God.
I mean, we're gonna see more stuff in the New Japan sphere that gets to a level that's at least close to this, if not at the level. At bare minimum, I think this is probably better than all the Inoki matches we talked about. And I loved the Willie Williams match. I thought the Ruska match was awesome. Thought the Shota match was awesome. But this feels so beyond. I mean, it goes to the point where it's almost like the WKA match, where like this goes beyond wrestling to me. Like this is just fucking awesome.
It's monumental.
Yeah.
And then he takes a break for a while. Nielsen has that kickboxing match like a year later. A shoot kickboxing match, and then he comes back in '88.
Yeah.
With a vengeance.
That he does. And I don't know what he was even doing during that time, because I don't think he has any on record kickboxing fights in like '87. Besides the New Japan. Oh, you know what? That is a good point, because I guess around that point he is doing the movie stuff.
He's a big star now.
He is. He's in Fear City, a neo-noir erotic thriller that I have not seen but sounds awesome.
I bet it rules. I probably rented it 20 years ago, 30 years ago.
It's got Tom Berenger in it.
Oh yeah. If I saw that cover, it's game over. Erotic kickboxing thriller with Tom Berenger.
Yeah, that's all I could ever fucking ask for.
That's why we missed the video store.
Yeah, that would have been platinum level, man. That would have gone like global. But I was gonna say, he just comes. We're in '98, and Nielsen is back, and he kind of looks like a new man.
He does, and he's coming in hot, and he is facing someone you may have heard of, Keiichi Yamada. If
Yes, sir.
the people are
That is.
bopping and going crazy, and the pre-Liger Liger.
Yes, sir. The this is Keiichi Yamada, Yoshiaki Fujiwara trainee, young Dynamo Junior, starting to kind of figure some stuff out. Get some stuff moving. Built like a brick shit house at
Okay,
this
dude.
point.
So you see him in the suit, and he's supposed to look like that. He's like filled
Mm-hmm.
out or whatever. You think it's the suit, but you see him here young, and he's got like okay. So we would just went from like the greatest, most perfect looking match ever to something that was shot like on one of those fucking cameras that you have to wind up, right? Like this thing
Oh
looks
yeah,
like
this
shit,
is
and it's
this is
from the
like
upper
a
deck. But you can see he has rib muscles, dude. His fucking shit looks like the hood of a cobra.
yeah,
Like
dude.
it's
He
you're not supposed to be built like that.
No, he's built inhuman. Like this is not normal. He is a musculature that is terrifying. But he is built insane. I'm gonna send you this photo right here that I got pulled up on the Google Images. Because this is like crazy. His upper body is like double the size of his like lower half. Like humans are not humans don't look like this usually. This is unreal.
Yeah, he looks like if you put the top half of Kerry Von Erich on the bottom half of the Dynamite Kid.
Yes. Very Dynamite Kid-esque. That was exactly what I was thinking.
And as you said,
Um
a junior dynamo here, and like this is I don't know. I think maybe our first junior different style fight because he does it in he takes a totally different approach, and I think it probably is the flashiest performance that we have seen yet.
yeah, I'd agree. But yeah, we have Nielsen coming in who has little white shorts. Maybe already starting to get a little bit of the Muay Thai influence in there
Could
because
be.
kickboxing around the time they do pretty much all wear the pants. So the shorts are kind of a Muay Thai thing. So I guess maybe he's starting to get that going here.
Yeah, it could
Um,
be. And Yamada comes out to the Rocky theme.
he does. I guess he knows he's in for a fight. He's trying to get in the headspace.
Yeah.
I respect it.
Well, he's like
Uh,
a wild animal, man.
yeah,
I think
he's
like you go back and watch the Yamada stuff, like on the whole, he's like much more vicious
yeah. No,
and
I
aggressive, which makes sense. I mean, he's playing like a fucking superhero. But this is
yeah.
interesting to think about the alternate universe where he doesn't do that and he becomes like a shoot style guy because he has the skills and he has the temperament.
I mean, I don't remember if this was like 100% what the thing was, but I think it was at one point he was maybe going to go to UWF because again, he's one of the Fujiwara proteges alongside Suzuki and Funaki, and Suzuki and Funaki, of course, do agree, and they go with Fujiwara over to the new UWF. I think that offer also goes to Keiichi Yamada, and he declines it, and he's like, I'm going to do the New Japan stuff instead," which pays off
Good call.
because he gets to be Liger, and it's especially like not only does he get to be Liger, he also only got to be Liger because Funaki left because Funaki was gonna be Liger. So they passed along to Yamada, and I this is like entirely off topic, just on the topic of Yamada. I know there's some divisive Liger opinions. I love the guy. It is interesting too because early Liger actually does kind of have the aggression when he's in like the golden meat suit looking thing. He's like more of a heel or like a shithead, and he can
Yeah.
get into that point. But it's fascinating because once you get to like the mid to late '90s, he has mostly moved on from that. So
He
going
saves
back to
it
like
for
'88,
he saves it for interpromotional stuff.
he does. He saves it for when he's wrestling like someone that's not in the company, so he can ruin their lives. Which is
Yeah.
maybe
I like Liger too.
the most New Japan thing he could do.
But he's like he takes a totally different tack here, like and one thing I loved that I have kinship, right, with you across time and space. is the bell rings and the guy holding the camera goes, oh, just with anticipation
Yeah.
for the different
This is
style fight. And I'm like, my
this.
brother, I wonder where you
I
are.
I did write down in my notes. This is an Owa clinic.
It
Like
sure is.
cameraman's making awesome cameraman noises the whole time.
And this crowd, like the last crowd is hot, nuclear. This crowd is a little more raucous.
Yes, that's a great
And
way to put it.
it matches kind of the tone of the fight because like from the start, uh it's just Yamada constantly shooting in and trying to like toss him
Yes.
over and over and over and over. And Nielsen almost like doesn't know how to take it. I don't think he's
No.
used to that.
And it's interesting because like when you see the Maeda match, Maeda's also like constantly trying to shoot in for double X because it's a proven strategy. But he'll shoot in and then in the spot will kind of try to double leg him. Yamada like runs with Nielsen to do these takedowns. He like takes him on a trip around the ring every time he does it.
Yeah.
And it does not look like Nielsen is a fan ever because I think he did it a bit in the Maeda match, but especially in this match, he is constantly throwing like downward elbows to like the back and neck of Yamada. And again, this might be around the time he's getting into Muay Thai because that would make perfect sense.
Yeah. He also gets some more of those like kicks from the ground. When he gets down, he's kicking him like in the fucking face. But it kind of like it's a lot of that to start. Like really for the first few, at least the first 2 rounds, it's Yamada like charging in, trying to take him down. Nielsen kind of on the back foot, but also getting shots in. But when this watching this for the pod is the first time I had ever seen this. So I wrote at the beginning like this is the most aggressive wrestler we have seen in any different style fight. I wonder how it will end up for him.
Yeah, I think it's because I was saying we were talking before about this shows like the different faces of Nielsen. I think if we were ever going to see Nielsen in anything that would look like a not a squash match, but like a match where there's a very clear like power difference, power scaling kind of.
Yeah.
This is what it feels like because Yamada, like any good rookie in a match where they're power scaled, is like 100 miles per hour the whole time, unrelenting in a way, because he is aware enough to know that if he lets up, he's just gonna lose. And Nielsen on as the guy on top is really fucking good. This is like a great performance for making Don Nakaya Nielsen look like the coolest guy ever. And like he looked like that in the last match. He did. But that was more like by proxy of how fucking awesome the match is. It's made Don Nakaya look like this. This one almost feels like the express goal is to make Don Nakaya Nielsen look like the coolest guy ever.
And he pulls it off.
Yeah, dude.
He does. So that's why it like I said, it's a junior match, right? He's as you said, he's a rookie too. Like that is it. It's frantic, the rookie energy of like I've just got to go at you 100%. We know how that ends in wrestling, but round 3, he makes Inoki proud and throws a big kapu kick and nails him with it. So there's some Liger for you.
Oh, dude, yeah. First, like proto capo kick just kills him and makes Inoki even prouder because I think right around that time was when he hits the big German, which was nuts.
Yeah, he gets him in the backdrop position, and it's like, okay, here we go, classic of the genre, backdrop. But he like lifts him and then turns it into a German.
Yeah,
and like smokes him with it. So that's the first 2. I'm probably more interested in this than anybody else, but our first German suplex, I think we've seen.
No, I agree. It is really interesting because I'm kind of shocked we never really saw one in any of the other stuff, even with the suplex guys. Like it was, but this is the first time Keiichi Yamada innovating in the genre, going, we can do it this way.
And he ragdolls him a little.
Yeah, he does. He fucking throws Nielsen.
But then he eats some fucking feet like crazy.
Yeah, Nielsen hits a like jumping head kick, which looks so disgusting. And he gets some fucking hits in, and the round ends. And I think Nielsen was just like, hey, man, that German suplex was like BM. That was not nice to me. So I'm going to swing on you some more
Yeah, a cheap
after the
shot.
round.
Order a cheap shot, Onita style, around the ref.
Yeah.
Just fucking hooks him.
And that leads to a fucking full on, almost riot again because we got everyone coming in from both sides for a second. Like, hey, man, you can't be doing that.
And yeah, and the most pissed off dude of all time, very close to the guy holding the camera. This is like losing his mind.
He's fuming.
I wish I knew what he was saying. I'm sure it was
Oh,
incredibly profane.
dude, I know he was saying some outrageous shit.
But then it's like a fever pitch for round 4. It's just total madness.
Yeah, and that is actually a wonderful bit of another. We talk about with all these guys like Nielsen just getting it. Like, yeah, let me throw one or two punches after the round ends because that's going to make the next round go nuclear. Which
Yeah.
he's right. He's right. It's as simple as that. Just the littlest bit of cheating, and the whole pitch of the match is shifted.
We get another sick half crab, and another reason this is awesome. A half crab is a finisher in this world.
It's so good.
And then Don, he kind of calls game.
Yeah, dude, he lands the most unreal combo ever. Like, it not even unreal, embarrassing. Because he lands a disgusting leg kick, audible connection, and then he throws this head kick. And Keiichi Yamada does a full front flip from the head kick. And it's not even like he gets kicked and then he does the flip. It's not like, oh, it's a wrestling bump.
Yeah, you've seen that on an Enziguri, but it's not that.
Yeah, it looks like the kick has so much force that it actually forces his body to flip. It is, if I was Keiichi Yamada and someone showed me footage of that, I would have a problem with them. I'd be like, why are you bringing that up, man? Why are you showing that to me?
And the leg kicks in particular sound like gunshots.
Yes, that is the entire end of the match. Is Keiichi Yamada keeps getting up, and Don Nakaya Nielsen keeps landing some of the scariest leg kicks I've ever seen, where when it connects, not only is there a crazy noise, but Yamada's whole body has a reaction from each kick. Like, it all goes forward. And eventually he gets hit with one that's just too hard and he can't get up, and they call it. And Don Nakaya Nielsen gets the big win over Keiichi Yamada.
And the shoulder ride.
Yes.
And that's another first, the first time we've had like a TKO from leg kicks.
Yeah.
But they're that scary.
They are. I buy them as dude, that is a credible finish to me for a different style fight because he is landing them so nasty. But yeah, this is Don's first win in wrestling. A nice, redemption after 2 years of losing to Maeda. Not 2 years of losing Maeda, but 2 years since he lost to him. It's not like they made him lose to him every day for the last 2 years. I mean, maybe Nielsen's mindset. Yeah, they're just making Nielsen rewatch it every day. Like, look at this. Look at what you did. Look at what you've done to us. But
I love this a lot. I thought this was really, really fun and cool.
Yeah, and no, then, I loved it.
And then moving up, right, we're like every new match gets a greater wrestler. Now we have one of the all timers.
Yes.
10-9-88, so just a few months after this one, not as long of a layoff. Don Nakaya Nielsen versus Yoshiaki Fujiwara.
Yeah. And I mean, what an incredible, what a great lineup for this match. Like, you put Nielsen, who we know as established, amazing striker, can't handle the grappling, against the, one of the poster boys of, and that's almost even the wrong phrase for, but one of the bastions of grappling of the era, of just being able to fucking rip you apart limb from limb.
Yeah, and not
Uh,
only that, a pure aggression guy against the defensive wrestler, right? That's
yes, yeah, that's exactly like this is an incredible kind of lineup here. Um, and in a way, this is not the match I thought it would be because there are, Fujiwara's doing the takedowns and he is doing the grappling and getting his fighting with Nakaya. That kind of goes at the beginning, kind of how I'm thinking. But the farther we go into this match, the more it turns into something that is it goes beyond any expectations for the matchup into just
it's
fucking
it's
something.
shocking.
Yeah,
It's
yeah, it is shocking. It
shocking.
is genuinely shocking.
And I was shocked after uh, watching this, and I know you watched it a month or two ago, and said
Yeah.
it was really great. That this was not more famous. And looking around a little bit, I did see the only place I found anyone talking about this match was Jeff Baldrin's match of the year for 1988, an early different style white boy, Jeff Baldwin, a Japan traveler and tape trading legend. That's the only thing I saw about this anywhere. And
Wow.
zooming out a little on that to give some context, I would not argue with this as a choice for match of the year for 1988. But you have Flair Sting at Clash 1. You've got the Fantastics and Midnight's feud. Um, there's like a crazy good Chigusa Nagayo Bull Nakano match. Anyway, like
I mean,
that's
and we haven't even mentioned if you just want to talk about best match of New Japan in 1988.
oh yeah,
That's there's one really specific
yeah,
example that says
easy
otherwise.
to remember. Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh, so but I think I'm not gonna argue with that. But it's interesting, like right off the bat, stylistically. If you don't get excited anytime you see Fujiwara coming down the ramp, I don't know if we can be friends. Uh,
No, no.
anyway, did they call him Mr. Professional?
I think they did.
I've
Yeah.
never heard that.
No, me neither. I heard it and I was like, "Huh, what was that?"
Yeah, and he's 39, but he looks 50.
He
Of
does.
course,
He
this guy's
does.
still wrestling. He looks the oldest looking guy in any of these
He
matches.
wrestled a month ago. Like he is outlived and out wrestled every single person that we have talked about in this pod thus far. I believe besides Onita.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah. And he is like the oldest. He is
Yeah,
like he,
and they call him Mr. Professional, and then he immediately throws the flowers like into the 15th row when
so
they hand them to him.
professional.
Yeah, which was so awesome. And it starts. You would expect I would expect Fujiwara to be on the defensive, but he's backing up into the corner over and over. He backs up into the corner, and it
Yeah.
starts like right when the bell. And Don Nakaya Nielsen is making these faces at the start that I wrote down. It looked like somebody doing like a hack impression of Jerry Seinfeld. I'm not sure like what he was going for there, but he backs Fujiwara up into the corner, and it appears that he's going to allow Nielsen to be super aggressive, and he's going for the legs, but it feels like instead of going for takedowns, he wants to like suplex the shit out of him, which is kind of crazy strategy for Fujiwara, but that's really what it feels
Yeah.
like to me. Every time he gets a hold of him, he's trying to like toss him.
Yeah, no, he's got to be like weird because you're right. He's playing the defensive game almost too far to the point that he's actually giving Nielsen like perfect position to like kick his fucking ass. But it's almost like Fujiwara is in confrontation with Nielsen is just not sure like how to handle him, which is interesting because again, Fujiwara is the historical like defense guy. Like he knows how to handle everyone. And this match does really play out like Fujiwara trying to figure out like what is the best possible way
Yeah.
to handle this big fucker who is throwing head kicks at my head.
One thing he seems to settle on early is to be dirty.
Oh, yeah. No, immediately.
Because I don't think it's like the second Onita Oyagi match. I don't think we get one clean rope break.
No, and Fujiwara is so tenacious with the takedown too, because Maeda was like on him and like really tried to do a. Fujiwara is like pulling him down into the water, like trying
Yeah.
his damnedest. So he's just not letting go. So of course, Nielsen once again really loving this Muay Thai thing, just throwing an insane amount of downward elbows to like the middle of the shoulders.
And the poor ref has no shot from the beginning trying to get between
No,
these guys in the
no,
ring.
no.
And so they really set the tone in that first round because it's really a lot of backing up and, as you said, like trying to find any way he can to get him into his universe. But we get some more cool presentation. We get more awesome between rounds music.
Mm-hmm.
Another bonus for the different style fight. If there's rounds, you can do cool, awesome music between the rounds.
Always makes me smile. I love to see the music selection for each in between. And so far in the pod, I have not had a single complaint. They're just all very strong picks for
Yeah.
in between round music.
And then the pattern continues in round two. He just works him to the corner, but almost immediately in round two, he starts landing like crazy combos in the corner.
Okay, yeah, because there is this moment where Fujiwara is backed up and Nielsen throws like 6 head kicks just immediately. And it is so relentless that it almost goes into the point of like, oh, this is too much. We're getting this is wrestling shit. But for anyone that has seen Don Nakaya Nielsen, uh specifically his fight with Craig Kringle from 1983, you would know Don Nakaya Nielsen in kickboxing has backed guys into corners and repeatedly head kicked them for shoot. This is a proven
Yeah.
strategy of Nielsen, and Fujiwara has fallen into the trap. And Fujiwara, of course, responds by blading, almost on camera. You can see him moving the hand down
Yeah.
after the blade.
And the first time in the match where you see him like just backed in the corner, covered up, I can't ever think of a time I've seen Fujiwara like just almost curled into a ball,
Dude, he
hiding
looks like
his head.
he looks like he's about to be turned into a corn cob. Like he's like in the terror zone. He's terrified.
So he does charge out and he gets him down, and then they inevitably end up back in the corner, and then he hits a fucking headbutt in the ropes.
Oh, dude.
And then this is like sort of the opposite of the other Nielsen fights because I think this is
Yes.
where he gets pissed off.
Yeah, this is when Nielsen gets the rage beast unlocked. Usually he's the one forcing the other fighters to unlock it, but that headbutt like wakes him up, and that is whenever he gets him on the ground and starts throwing like crazy corner kicks.
Yeah. And he's like really mixing up the strikes here too. Like he's throwing and knees to the face. I
Oh,
don't know if you've
dude.
seen them before, but in this one he's throwing crazy knees to the face.
Again, the Muay Thai infection. He
Yeah.
is trying to break the face of Yoshiaki Fujiwara.
And he again such a natural pro. Like in round 3 there's a point where he's like working the cut.
Yes,
He's like
dude.
directly punching the cut.
Yeah, dude, he's going nuts. Like
He's got try Fujiwara's like on the ground trying to get a headlock on him, and he's just like laser focused, just
yeah.
right in the cut.
And
And he
that
hits a
is
double stomp.
yes, I was just gonna say that is around the exact time that Nakai hits a double stomp, which is crazy. Like, what the fuck are you doing, dude? Don't do that.
And then it gets really wild. He's like Fujiwara's like under the ropes. His head is on the apron, and the rest of his
Yes.
body is like under the ropes and in the ring. And Nielsen is like coming through the ropes over him, just like pelting him with punches.
Yes.
Yes, he's
Yes.
just defenseless on the apron. And then he
It's
like running drop kicks him to the floor.
yes. He's running drop kicks and crotches himself on the top rope doing it.
And then I think kind of from this point forward, like Fujiwara is just like a cornered animal, and he's fighting
Yes.
for his life.
And this is the point too, because again in round two he gets a little gig, gets a little color, but it's really not much. He just barely. It seems like he kind of grazes his own forehead. Like it's a little bit of blood, but it's not much. But when he gets drop kicked, he goes to the outside, which means he gets the chance to blade again, and kind of make up for that. So he comes up and back into the ring, and he is drenched in blood.
Dude,
He
he
is
looks
he's hit,
disgusting.
he's hitting artery, dude. He is gushing blood, and we saw the Nakaya Rage Beast. Well, here's the Fujiwara Rage Beast because he gets Nakaya on the apron and starts throwing relentless headbutts to the back of the head.
Disgusting. But
So
Nielsen
and he's
recovers and gets him in the corner, and he does like a shoot face wash where he like puts
yes.
his shin on his face and is just like leaning into him.
Oh my god! And this is also, you can see it while the headbutts are going on, but there's a great angle from behind where you can see it. Nielsen is like his neck is covered in blood, like the back of his head and neck, because it's just Fujiwara is getting his blood all over Nielsen.
And round four starts, and you get a shot of Fujiwara just standing there, just bleeding buckets. Like he looks like on the verge of death, and you go right back to like just. This is the point where he's just getting absolutely mauled in the corner, just like machine gun, rapid fire strikes. He takes like a Superman punch at some
Yeah, he does.
right in the head right after he gets up from being down, and then like the rest of the fourth round is just him like up and down and up and down.
And that is I do love the right before the fourth round starts, the shot of Fujiwara just kind of standing there staring. He looks like Jack Torrance, like just
That's
almost
perfect.
completely blank eyed.
Yeah,
But yeah, round four has this incredible moment where Don Nakaya Nielsen has this epiphany of like, yes, I am a wrestler because he hits a jumping double stomp to like Fujiwara's like chest and neck. And as he's standing on top of him, he taunts.
oh
And that is the most emotion a different style fighter has ever shown thus far. Like, at least in terms of the chronology,
yeah.
88, he is the first guy I've ever seen to do a move and then fucking full on like appeal to the crowd. he's getting it. He is so getting it.
And there's a point where Fujiwara like shoots out of the corner, desperation mode takes him down, and he's just bleeding all over him. And he's got one
Yes.
forearm behind his head and one forearm on his neck, and he's just trying to like choke him with his forearms while he bleeds all over his face.
Oh fuck, dude! What is that? There's like a name for that. Is it? It might just be blood choke. That
I,
it's
it's
just
crazy.
you put the arm like right on top of the neck and just like choke them out. There's a like there's a word for it. I think it is literally just blood choke though. I think it's like a BJJ thing.
Well, that's a fitting name.
It is. It is. Uh, and that goes into round five, which is like I mean, it's really funny because it's almost like the Stan Marsh "I got one more fight in me" thing from the football game. Fujiwara bleeding out, leaning in the corner, but he is still going into round five because he is not going to let Nakai Nielsen just win.
And at some point, Nielsen's pants have been torn.
Yes,
See his little speedo.
and
And Fujiwara's again he's desperation mode. He's cornered like literally cornered animal mode where he starts getting these waist takedowns and
mhm.
he's like desperately trying to slap on holds.
He does get on a heel hook, and it's like a perfectly like applied one. But of course, Nikaya just still grabs the rope immediately. Like,
Yeah.
fuck your hold, dude. I'm not, the rope's right here. And that is when Nakaya lands a head kick to Fujiwara. And it is so nasty. It
It
is
sounds like the
so nasty.
sounds like the Monty Python coconuts.
Yeah,
Shout out
yes.
Armani,
Shout out
big Monty
Armani.
Python coconut head.
B is
And this is one of the more definitive endings you will ever see.
Yeah,
To
no,
a
Fujiwara
real
is
remake.
I have him written down in my notes. Fujiwara is super deceased. Like it's he's because he's somehow found a way to get up and keep fighting while being like mauled. But that head kick hits him and it's like okay, that's the finish. Like there we go.
And yeah, there's a doctor stoppage, and they pull his corpse out of the ring, and he just slides out like head first onto the ground. Oh, he's just the greatest.
He is. He is.
The
I'm
great.
so I, honestly speaking to the people and to you, Aubie, I had not actually written down Yoshiaki Fujiwara episode yet. I just hadn't even thought about it, but I was like, after I watched that much, I'm like, yeah, he has done more than enough. We got to talk about it. And we're going to just naturally run into him again because he hangs out in certain places and faces certain people that we are just gonna see him again no matter what. But
Yeah,
man,
thank
he
goodness.
is he's so good at this kind of match. He is like and again, yeah, it's Fujiwara. He's so good at like everything, but like he knows, he gets it. He gets it so well. And there are people that don't. As much as we love these, I will happily tell you that not every one of these is like the greatest thing ever. There are some ones that are not great,
Yeah,
but it Fujiwara, and again, the thing with different styles is a lot of it's a high floor. So even if you're not great in other avenues, coming into something like this, you're almost forced to be good because otherwise you just get mauled.
yeah,
But the ones that are good at this are really good at it. And Fujiwara is amazing, and Don Nakaya Nielsen is amazing, and this is a fucking amazing match. And it would be the best match of the episode for sure, if not for the Maeda match,
yeah.
Like, just holy man.
And then we don't really see him again. We can do our further reading, I suppose. I would say watch the go just watch that playlist. That what's the guy's name?
Mouse Boxer.
Yeah, he has a Don Nakaya Nielsen playlist that's like all heaters. You should definitely watch that. But Nielsen does, I guess his next match is against Fujiwara
Yes.
in PWFG. And I did read that Ken Shamrock said one of the reasons that he beat his ass so bad later was that he legit hurt Fujiwara.
Yeah, no, that match goes a minute. And I believe part of the reason why, because I feel like I've heard before that it probably wasn't going to go too long. It probably wasn't going to go as long as this match, but it only lasts a minute, and I think that's because Fujiwara gets hurt. Um, but yeah, no, that Wayne Shamrock match is so like. I mean, for starters, it's just an MMA fight. From my understanding, it is a total shoot. Um, because that is from the Stack of Arms show, the Tokyo Dome show for Fujiwara Gumi,
That's crazy.
where
By the way.
yeah, the fact that they even fucking had a Tokyo Dome show, like how the fuck did that happen? But their Tokyo Dome show where some of the matches were shoots, like the Minoru Suzuki fight, I believe is a shoot. The Funaki match is not. That is very infamously not because Fujiwara said, I'm not letting you guys have a real fight to main event my Tokyo Dome show. We're not letting that happen. Um, I believe that the Shamrock Nielsen match is a shoot. And it is, again, we talked about it before. That match kind of opens the gateway for MMA as a TV product in Japan, and is a integral part in Pancrase becoming a thing. And I feel like at that point, there's really even nothing else to say because like
Yeah.
Pancrase does its shit, and the fucking whole world of combat sports
Yeah.
changes. So definitely watch that. As Aubie said, all of the mouse boxer like kickboxing shit. Uh, I mentioned it before, but if you want to see the kickboxing equivalent to a squash match, the Craig Kringle fight is something to really like. It's so nuts, and it's so the match like starts with the commentators going like, "Oh, we don't really know this Don Nielsen guy, but Craig Kringle's a proven fighter, a strong kickboxer, and we're gonna see a good fight here." And then the rest of the fight is Don Nakaya Nielsen sending Craig Kringle to the pain dimension as he beats him half to death.
There's one against a French guy on there too, where he beats him in like 9 seconds, and he.
Yes, if you see a Don Nakaya Nielsen fight and it's short, Don Nakaya Nielsen probably won. If you see a fight and it's long, he probably lost.
Yeah, that's accurate.
It's really a question. Nielsen has to beat guys quickly because if he doesn't, he pisses them off hard enough that they then beat him.
What a fighter! I'll take that over a champ any day.
Oh, dude, easily. But yeah, shout out Don Nakaya Nielsen. Rest in peace, Don Nakaya Nielsen too. We didn't even mention he did die in 2017. But he's I really do think he is a vital part of he's an important integral puzzle piece to this different style of fight shit. Where if we don't really have him, so much of it doesn't make sense. He's a figure in this scene that should be put on a pedestal almost. Like we need to revere Don Nakaya Nielsen as a different style fighter because without him, I don't know how this shit develops, both the MMA shit and the different style shit. Because the Maeda match feels monumental for the whole genre of like now we're seeing guys like Nielsen, guys that are real hard aggression pushers, because we had only the Inoki guys, and again, I love the Inoki fights. But one thing about them that I think at least I believe, is that sometimes it was not as aggressive as, you watch the 90s shit. The aggression is not there in the same way. The guys are not pushing it. Don Nakaya Nielsen is the one that pushed the aggression in a way to where it became this relentless fighting that guys like Aoyagi then kind of perfected.
Well said. And speaking of aggressive, different style fighters, we got a doozy for next week.
Yes, sir. We have been locked into the 80s and we have just broken into the 90s with the last few episodes. But we're going to jump ahead real big to 2000, the year 2000. We are in a new millennium, and a new millennium of professional wrestling needs a Millennium Man, different style fighter.
Sid?
And fuck, I need to see if Sid did a different style. He was in Japan for some shit. He might have done something. He probably faced Glacier. We can probably put that on the list.
Got to.
But we have a shoot boxer, a discipline that up to this point has he's the second shoot boxer to make it into wrestling, I believe, or at least the second to make it in while marketed as a shoot boxer. And he is a terror for a company that really, I mean, you look at it, you would not imagine that they are the kind to get terrified by something like this. They wouldn't really have to deal with a different style problem. But goddamn, someone save Super Delphin, man.
Oh, dude.
I'm pumped.
Let's go. Well, I do want to second week in a row we haven't even introduced ourselves.
No.
I don't care. The intro is the intro, man. We want to talk about this shit.
Yeah, dude, we want to get in.
We want to get into it. But I am Aubie.
And I'm Jom.
Yes. And we will be back next week with more super fucking heat.
Yes, sir.